Hey, welcome back to a later recorded episode of me talking about filmmaker stuff. I don't know how much longer it is. As you can see, I've gotten my hairs cut to establish that time has passed. And I picked a different location because I was tired of continuously talking to you in my house. So I just figured I'd do something short here. Now, what we're going to talk about today is going to be a little different. We're going to talk about today's basically filmmaker advice that has nothing to do with making a movie outside of the realm of filmmaking. Just a few tips that I think can help you in between what you're doing to help keep you focused and kind of what you need to do to keep your sanity, in my opinion. Obviously, you gotta take care of yourself. Obviously, you need to eat, exercise, be social, talk to people. Don't just fall into a vat and be by yourself and do nothing. That's very bad for your mental health, it's very bad for your physical health, and it's very bad for your creativity. Honestly, you need to experience the world in order to write and create things that belong in this world. A big thing that I always tell people, because it is advice that I got myself, is learn how to cook. You don't have to know how to make much. You don't need to be a master chef. You don't need to have a huge ass menu, but you should have a list of 5 to 7 things that you know how to make, and a few of those should be good things, better than just basic stuff, just so that way you have a way that you can depend on something you have as a treat, something that you know you like, something you can make for others, either friends, potential relationships. It will help you save some money, so that way you don't have to basically just cycle back and forth between ramen and fast food or eating out in general. You'll actually be able to make some decent chicken or burgers or steak or tacos or quesadilla, whatever you want to come up with. I like shrimp scampi over some pasta because it's very cheap, but it feels a little bit more fancy and it's filling. I like making stuffed peppers a lot because it's easy and simple and it feels like a big meal. But you need to learn how to cook. It's a vital part of your life because you're always going to be hungry. You're always going to need food. That's never going to go away. You need to have food, and learning how to cook is a massive benefit in your day-to-day life. I mean it. Now, obviously, when I'm shooting, I'm not cooking. I'm eating out when I'm shooting, but I'm talking about the rest of the year. Now, I won't say anything stupid like make your bed, because I never make my bed. I know some filmmaker books will be make your bed so you come home to a made bed every day. No, that's dumb. Who cares? But what you should do is definitely keep your house clean, because that also really helps just your state of mind, in my opinion. It doesn't have to be perfect, doesn't have to be spick and span, but maintaining a sense of cleanliness and decluttering. And again, within reason, as a filmmaker, I know what it's like when I'm in the middle of making a movie and it is cluttered everywhere, and there's not much you can do. But when you're not making a movie, clean up. Have a nice place. That is something that's good to come home to. That's something that's good to wake up to, way more than a made bed. Also, keep on, some people think it's a dirty word to consume, but consume. Enjoy stuff. Watch a bunch of movies, play a bunch of video games. Especially if you are consistently making stuff, shut down for a couple of months and just consume. It really helps kind of reset your palate, I think is a good way to put it, your creative palate, so that way you're not stuck in a cycle. If you make a horror movie, then you just do some horror movies, and then you make another horror movie, you're just consistently spinning. But if you just shut down and don't create for a little bit, you can get new ideas, you can get new themes, you can get new motivation, and I think that's really good. Again, this is all subjective, this is all just me speaking personally. I'm not a scientist, I'm not an expert. This is a fun one. I do always tell this to people. get a couple, just a couple, but a couple of traditions that are just for you. And I mean just for you. I have two myself that I do every year. One, I'm not a smoker. I don't smoke cigarettes. I don't really smoke the devil's lettuce. And I don't smoke, just period. But what I do is that whenever I wrap a film and we get the final cut, if we have a theatrical screening, I do it at the theatrical screening. If we don't have one, I do it after I do the first release and get the first review in, and I smoke a cigar by myself on the back or front patio of my home. And it's just a soothing little reward. It's something, again, I don't do it normally. I'm not a huge fan of like smoking or cigars or anything like that, but it's just a little treat, a little thing that's different from what I usually do, because I only do it once a year. And I usually don't listen to music. I just sit out at night and I listen to the night while I puff a cigar for like a half an hour to an hour. And that's the celebration of like, hey, it's done. The second tradition I have, I actually just did. I'm not sure when this episode is going up, but so the mall that's nearby where I live currently, every year, they have Christmas in July. Now, if you know anything about my filmography, you know I adore Christmas. It's my favorite thing. My favorite thing. And usually, just the way it works out, usually I'm filming in like March, April, May. Somewhere around there, one of those months is when I shoot. So July is usually, 2 to 3 months after I'm done shooting, or in post-production, we got stuff to worry about. But I choose one day in July. It's not a specific day. It's not like July 25th I have to do that. It's like whatever I feel like it's right. I will basically decide it's Christmas Day for Steve. I will wake up. I will make myself the last peppermint mocha coffee or peppermint hot chocolate that I have saved. I will open up my box of white fudge Oreos that I have saved, my last box that I have not opened until this day, whatever the day is. I will listen to Christmas music at home all day, which I listen to Christmas music a lot. It's my favorite musical genre, but I specifically like only Christmas music. Then I will go to the mall and I will just spend a couple hours there completely by myself. I will get a peppermint mocha iced coffee from Starbucks, because every Starbucks has peppermint all year long. And I will look at all the nutcrackers that they have up. I will look at all the Christmas trees that they have up. I will listen to the Christmas music that's on. And I am walking through the mall singing this Christmas music as people look at me like I am an insane person. But I do it because it is just joy for my soul. And that's what's important about this sort of tradition. Now, obviously, you probably don't like Christmas as much as I do. Not a lot of people do. And also, everyone's different. But what you need to find is a tradition. Again, I would suggest doing it a couple months after you shoot every year and make it a yearly thing. Obviously you have plenty of hobbies, stuff that you normally do, but I like this yearly thing because it's all mine. And I'm able to kind of reset. I'm able to enjoy the ambience of Christmas without any of the crowds. I'm able to enjoy the ambience of going out to the mall, not worrying about the edit, not worrying about the marketing, and just enjoy something that I like, which is the main thing you should look for. I'm giving my example of what I like and what I like to do, but I cannot exaggerate when I say how much it really helps and matters for me just feeling a whole lot better. And that's kind of what you need to find and hold on to. In addition to the daily general advice, you need to find a couple anchors that you can look forward to and enjoy. Especially if it costs relatively little or nothing. You know, it's one thing to be like, yeah, go to Disneyland every year, because that's just assuming you're rich, and none of us are rich. I haven't been there since 2015. I missed it a lot, but not something I can do, or most of you can probably do. But going to the mall in July, listening to Christmas music, and getting a peppermint iced mocha, that costs $6. Well, this was like $5. It doesn't matter. The point is, there's a whole lot more to the world of filmmaking than just the whole creative process. And too often, I think that the advice filmmakers get when they're starting is just heavily focused on filmmaking, and they lose track of everything else, even though everything else does matter. And you cannot be a successful filmmaker if you don't have things, A, if you don't take care of the rest of your life, but also B, if you don't have things to kind of help keep pushing you forward, to kind of motivate you, and to feel like you're not wasting your time. And that's what stuff like this is for me. That's what making my own meals is for me. That's what cleaning my house is for me. And also finish your movies and release them. I think that goes without saying. But too many people don't do that, so do it. Even if it's terrible, even if you hate it, you need to release it. A, everyone that worked on your movie deserves to see it. And 2, it's the only way you're going to get proper feedback and see what other people think, and if they agree with you that it's bad, or if they don't agree with you and what parts that they do agree on you on. And D, what are you doing this for if you're not going to release your stuff? Like, if you're doing it personally, just for you, that's a different story, but I'm talking generally, you know, people that want to get their stuff out there. That's who I'm talking to. So, you know, find something that makes you feel good and do it. All right, well, thanks for listening to me ramble again. I'm going to go finish the rest of my peppermint mocha, and then I'm going to listen to a little bit more Christmas music, and I think tonight I'm going to toss Jingle All the Way on while I take a hot bath. Oh, it's another thing I do a lot too, hot baths, but I don't have a good ending here. That's how you know I'm a professional. All right, well, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Solstice, and just, yay, make movies.